Hey guys, it's John from Dapper Davidson. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you some cool mods that I got for the Iron 883. I've really been waiting for these parts for a long time. I'm super excited to share them with you. And these parts are some saddlebags and a Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. So these saddlebags did not come this color. I had to have them painted, and I'll share with you who painted these. I also had these bags and the bike ceramic coated from JD's River Valley Restorations. I'll be sharing his info with you in this video also. So these bags originally came black, and I'll put a link in the description below. So these bags come black. So you got to kind of measure up to your bike exactly where you want them, and you can drill your own holes. So that is a cool option. They come with 2 holes pre-drilled. That's, I guess, where you could put them if they fit, but that did not match up to the bike at all. So I got these plugs right here to seal up these holes. This was a plug kit that I got off of Amazon. So the hardware also did not come with these bags. The hardware was an additional $30. You've probably seen the hardware for universal saddlebags before. It needed a lot of modification to kind of fit the bike. So the saddlebag mounts come like this, and I chopped that to just be one piece like this. And the reason for that is if you have that little L-shaped bracket, whenever you come to the bike and you mount it up, it's gonna stick out an additional inch, and they'll be way out here. I know you've seen those universal saddlebags and they stick out so far away from the bike. If you take your angle grinder and you cut that L shape off, you match it right up to this. This is some mounting hardware for a sissy bar, but it'll mount right up to the side of this, and it's not in the way of your belt guard, so it's still far enough off the bike, and you're still clear on this side. So that's what I did, chop that off. You'll see at the end of this video, it looks sweet. And then I just drilled my own holes. So whenever you're drilling the holes, I drilled it out with a 5/8 little spade drill bit. Makes perfect circular holes. This one, I did not use that. I used an angle, a Dremel, and it was like imperfect, but then I figured out that I could use that spade drill bit, and then the rest of these are like perfect. So the hardware, mounting hardware, does come with these rubber grommets and these little like bushings inside. So it does come with that. It does come with some silver mounting hardware like nuts and bolts, but I didn't want it to be silver. I wanted it to be black. So I got these bolts and nuts, 5/16 by 18 by 1. These are flange bolts from Nuts and Bolts or boltsandnuts.com. I got these on eBay. These are nylon lock nuts, and these are flange bolts. So all the hardware is going to be black. So if you look on the back side of the bags when they're mounted up, it's all going to be black. It's going to look sweet. If you want to get bags and fairings painted to match the bike, you're going to have to get Harley Davidson paint. The 1 quart of Harley Davidson paint is like $150, but this is condensed paint. So whenever you take it to a paint shop, they're going to use paint thinner to reduce the paint, and that gives you about 8 to 1. So really you're getting about 8 quarts of paint for about $150, which is plenty. I still probably have half of this quart left after painting both bags and the fairing. So I got plenty of paint there. As far as the decal, I got this decal on eBay. I'll put the link in the description below. I gave this to the guy who painted my bags. It was Colorworks Paint and Body, painted the bags. I'll give their info in the link below. But gave this decal to them, that way they could paint the bag, put the decal on, and then clear over it. That way it kind of sealed the decal in, and it's not going to peel or flake off later on. So that was kind of my goal there. These are not Harley Davidson bags, but I wanted them to look sweet on the side of that bike there, and they're going to. So the tools you're going to need to accomplish this, you're going to need a 1/2-inch wrench. You're going to need an 11mm socket. You're going to need a 3/16 Allen to take off the front mounting bolt there. And then you're gonna need the hardware, assorted hardware. So the top bolts are a little bit longer. They're about 4 inches and then a little less than 4 inches. And I actually had to get these cut to custom size. So even with that, I had to add like a couple extra washers that are gonna go on the inside of the bag to space it out exactly to where that is not gonna rub on the tire. It's very little room for error on that. So you definitely want to take your time and make sure that your bolts are exactly right, not too long, not too short. So with that, let's get grinding on this. Bag number 1 down. From this angle, it doesn't look too bad. Gotta get the fairing next. The hardest part's done because doing on this bag on the right-hand side, on the exhaust side, getting in there in between those fender and the tire is super tight. So that's kind of where it's at. All right, we'll do the other bag and then we'll come back and see how it looks. All right, guys. Just got the other bag put on. This other side. Looks pretty sweet from this angle. As you can see with that mounting bracket cut close, it sits right up on those sissy bar mounting brackets. So for the license plate relocation kit, I used Cycle Vision's license plate relocation kit. On the website, it says that it's just like plug and play, just bolt onto the fender, and it really isn't. There's a lot of work that goes into it because like the little brackets that go on the inside of the fender on each side don't line up exactly, and the fender itself doesn't have a cutout for that to slide into. So you're gonna have to use a Dremel to kind of grind out a little place on the inside of the fender for it to fit. And then you're also gonna have to use like probably an angle grinder. That's what I used to cut part of the actual bracket for this off so it fits correctly. And as far as this bike, it comes with the little license plate bracket that like comes down and sticks out to the side. And I chopped that off with my angle grinder. I knew that I was gonna be keeping this bike. I'm not selling it or trading it in, so I know I'm gonna be keeping this and I'm gonna be passing it down to my boys when they get big enough to ride. So I wasn't concerned about resell or anything else on this bike. So that's why I'm like gonna go all out, make it exactly what I want. The Cycle Vision's license plate relocation kit is not cheap, but it's also a good quality. It's good quality metal. It's not made out of plastic. And then the license plate LED lights, you got your lights that light up the plate. So you get that, so it's kind of DOT, you know, approved, even though it says clearly on the website it's not DOT approved, but I've never been pulled over for it. And then super bright LED lights here. And then when you turn on the turn signals, it flashes like that. So pretty cool little thing. And whenever you're mounting up these bags, I didn't show it earlier in the video, but the bolts just go straight from the bags to the fender. So the top bolts just go straight from the bag through the fender, and then bolts up on the inside. And like I said earlier in the video, on the exhaust side of the bike, it's super duper tight. On the left hand side, there's tons of clearance. So I mean, the best way to do this, honestly, is to jack your bike up, take the suspension off on each side. That way you can drop the tire and really get in there to the fender. That's the easiest way probably to get in there, but I didn't feel like dropping the tire on this. That's kind of a whole other deal. That's the license plate relocation kit. Like I said, it isn't cheap. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So, and it was also on back order for a while. So I got it on Get Lowered Cycles. They have a thing where you can get notified whenever they come back in stock. That's what I did. I just waited for the email. When it came back in stock, I bought it. So I'll have a link for this in the description below also. But that's the license plate relocation kit that I used. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna install the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. I already put the block on, the headlight block. This little tab comes out, and then you just bolt up the mounting block. The Memphis Shades instructions are super easy to follow, so I just follow those. Whenever I got done using them, I put them up here for reference in case I gotta take it apart again. So I just put, these are the mounting brackets for the Memphis Shades Road Warrior fairing. Whenever you're putting this together, you're gonna go to the second little groove here for these forks. And this headlight block pushes the headlight out. It's gonna sit right inside the fairing. That way it's not sitting too far back. So the next thing is to put the fairing on. the shades, Road Warrior fairing, and bags. Call this thing the Iron ST. It has a windshield that mounts up to the top, but I'm gonna leave it like this for a little bit. Sheesh. Looks super clean. Well, let me know what you think of this build in the comments below. If you want to see more of this stuff, like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All of that being said, thank you for watching Dapper Davidson. I'm John. We'll see you on the next one.